Chosen one, listen carefully, for this message comes to you at a divinely appointed moment. A woman driven by jealousy, resentment, and dark intentions has been attempting to work black magic against you. Her actions were hidden from your eyes, but not from heaven's. And today the Lord urges you to awaken, because what she has released was designed to interfere with the destiny placed inside you. This is not spoken to frighten you, but to strengthen you, to open your spiritual vision so you can understand the invisible conflict surrounding your life. You are not walking through ordinary days. Something in the unseen realm has shifted, and the spiritual pressure you've been feeling is not random. Angels assigned to your path have already detected this movement of darkness, an energy sent to cloud your clarity, drain your strength, and disrupt the blessings that were on their way to you. That is why this warning reaches you now. Not late, not early, but at the exact moment the enemy tries to influence what belongs to you. Chosen one, you are standing in a season of transition where your light is rising, and whenever the light of a chosen vessel increases, darkness becomes restless. What you are sensing is not weakness, it is evidence of your calling. It is proof that heaven's mark is on you. The Lord does not allow his chosen ones to walk blind into spiritual warfare. He reveals what the enemy attempts in secret so you may stand firm, fully aware of the schemes formed against you. C.S. Lewis wrote in the Screwtape Letters, "There is no neutral ground in the universe. Every square inch is claimed by God and counterclaimed by Satan." What is happening around you is exactly this collision of claims. Something is contending for your peace, your clarity, your purpose, but God is exposing it so it loses its power. So receive this message with discernment, not fear. For if heaven is revealing the attack, heaven has already begun your protection. Before we move forward, pause and reflect. Have you felt sudden heaviness, resistance, or confusion in areas that once moved smoothly? Share it in the comments. Your experience may confirm exactly why you were meant to hear this today. The truth you must now face, chosen one, is that the opposition against you is far more intentional than it first appeared. The woman who has turned herself toward darkness is not acting from a momentary impulse. She has willingly opened her heart to energies fueled by jealousy, bitterness, and spiritual corruption. Her actions are not random. They are driven by a desire to interfere with the divine alignment shaping your life. She has become a conduit through which shadows seek to reach you, releasing forces meant to cloud your mind, weaken your spirit, and disrupt the progress God has ordained for you. Her resentment toward you runs deeper than mere human emotion. She sees the grace upon your life, your resilience, your growth, the doors that begin to open before you, and it exposes everything she refuses to confront within herself. Instead of healing her wounds, she clings to them. Instead of working on her own soul, she turns her attention toward yours. In her eyes, harming your journey somehow eases the weight of her own inner emptiness. Thus, she has chosen to project negativity toward the very areas where God is shaping blessing, clarity, and breakthrough for you. This is why you must view her actions for what they truly are, not a personal dispute, but a spiritual assault. Scripture makes this clear in Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Her attempts to disturb your relationships, interfere with your peace, and stall your progress are not born solely from her own will. They are empowered by the shadows she has invited into her life. She acts outwardly, but the force behind her actions is rooted in the unseen realm. Yet despite her secrecy, nothing escapes the sight of heaven. The Lord has observed every intention formed against you, and the more she pushes, the more her true alignment is revealed. Darkness always exposes itself when it tries to challenge the light of a chosen vessel. She believes her efforts are hidden, but God has already brought her schemes into the open, so that you may walk with discernment rather than confusion, strength rather than fear. What was meant to break you becomes the very reason your spiritual awareness sharpens and your calling becomes clearer. As this hidden conflict unfolds around you, chosen one, the impact of her actions may already be echoing through different areas of your life. Even before you fully understood the source, you may have sensed the symptoms, subtle at first, then increasingly difficult to ignore. When darkness attempts to reach a chosen vessel, it rarely announces itself openly. It moves quietly, pressing against the edges of your spirit, hoping you will mistake its influence for ordinary fatigue or emotional fluctuation. One of the first signs is a heaviness that settles over you without explanation. It feels as though your inner strength has been quietly drained, leaving your spirit weighed down by something you cannot name. Moments that once brought you peace begin to feel muted. Tasks that were once simple suddenly feel overwhelming. A cloud lingers over your thoughts, blurring your clarity and stealing the ease with which you once discerned truth. This is not weakness, it is the subtle residue of an energy sent to interfere with your spiritual balance. You may also notice resistance rising in areas that previously flowed with grace. Conversations that once felt natural become strained. Plans that once came together with ease now encounter unexpected obstacles. Opportunities you were certain of begin to slip away in ways that do not match the reality of your efforts. These interruptions are not random, they are markers of an external force attempting to disrupt the order of God's timing in your life. Inwardly, your emotions may have shifted as well. Sudden waves of anxiety, restlessness, or emotional fatigue may come upon you without a clear trigger. You might feel disconnected from your own sense of purpose, as though something is subtly pulling your heart away from the confidence you once carried. This emotional turbulence is not born from who you are, but from what has been projected toward you. Even your relationships may reveal the presence of interference. People who were once close might seem distant without explanation. Misunderstandings arise out of nothing. Connections that once felt secure feel fragile. This happens because spiritual interference often targets connection, knowing that isolation weakens the soul of a chosen one. And finally, you may feel spiritually muted. Prayer becomes harder. Focus becomes scattered. Motivation slips away. The enemy's intention is always to dull your spirit, to suppress your awareness, to make you forget the strength you possess. But the very fact that you feel this struggle is proof of something deeper. The calling on your life is stirring, and darkness is attempting to challenge it. These signs are not the end. They are the evidence that the battle is real, and that heaven is preparing you to rise above what was sent to hinder you. To understand the depth of this situation, chosen one, you must recognize that her attack is not driven merely by circumstance. It is driven by who you are in the spirit. Darkness does not waste its energy on empty vessels. It targets those who carry purpose, those who carry light, those whose very existence disrupts the plans of the enemy. The woman who has turned herself against you has not chosen you at random. She is reacting to the radiance you carry, a radiance she can neither possess nor silence. She sees what you often forget: the grace on your life, the strength of your spirit, the resilience that keeps pushing you forward even after seasons of hardship. Your presence exposes her insecurities. Your progress intensifies her resentment. Every step you take toward growth reminds her of the places where she remains stagnant. Instead of confronting her own wounds, she seeks to wound you. Instead of rising, she chooses to pull downward. Her jealousy is not about what you have externally, it is about who you are internally. Chosen one, the enemy often uses those who are already fractured, already vulnerable to bitterness, already willing to accept the whispers of darkness. She did not simply envy your success. She envied your peace, your clarity, your spiritual favor. She envied the way God continues to open doors for you, even after everything you've endured. And because she could not destroy these qualities within herself, she convinced herself that she might weaken them in you. This pattern is ancient. Throughout Scripture, those called by God have faced opposition from those threatened by their light. Cain envied Abel. Saul feared David. Joseph's brothers despised the dream that lived inside him. It is never the insignificant who provoke such reactions. It is the chosen, the marked, the destined. John 1-5 declares, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Your light irritated the shadows within her, and the darkness she embraced urged her to act. Her intention was to interfere with your destiny, hoping that if she could burden your spirit, she could bend the path God set for you. But what she failed to understand is that the calling over your life is not fragile. It is not easily shaken. You were chosen not because your path would be easy, but because your spirit would be unbreakable. Her attack reveals more about your identity than her power. It is proof that heaven has marked you. So understand this, chosen one. She targeted you not because you are weak, but because you are strong, not because you are empty, but because you are full, not because you are lost, but because your steps are ordered. What intimidates her is the very thing God intends to elevate in you. And now, chosen one, having understood why you were targeted, you must understand something far greater. Heaven has not been silent, and you have not been unguarded for even a single moment. Long before the attack reached your awareness, angels were already standing between you and the forces that sought to disturb your path. The enemy observed your rising light, but heaven observed it first. The woman's intentions were formed in secrecy, yet the Lord saw them in their earliest shadow. Nothing moves against a chosen soul without passing through the sight of the one who guards you. Every attempt made against you has already collided with divine resistance. What was meant to drain your spirit has been intercepted. What was meant to weaken your faith has been redirected. What was meant to close doors has been dissolved before it could take shape. You may have felt pressure, but you did not realize how much heavier the blow would have been had heaven not intervened. There are battles you never knew you fought, victories you never saw but still received, and dangers you never encountered because angels stood in the gap. This is why the darkness has not overtaken you. This is why, even in weariness, you did not break. The Lord has been shielding your spirit, reinforcing your boundaries, and illuminating your path with quiet precision. Psalm 91-11 affirms this truth. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. These words are not symbolic. They are the reality unfolding around your life right now. Every whisper of negativity she sent toward you has been met with the counterforce of heavenly light. Even the signs of struggle you felt were not signs of defeat, but signs of a battle already turning in your favor. The enemy wanted to plant confusion, but God used it to sharpen your discernment. The enemy wanted to interrupt your progress, but God used it to strengthen your endurance. What was supposed to diminish you has instead awakened you. What was intended to silence you has instead made your spirit more alert. Chosen one, understand this clearly. Her attack never had the final word. Heaven intervened before darkness could take root. Angels blocked what was sent to harm you, and the divine hand transformed what was meant for evil into fuel for your elevation. Her intentions were loud in the realm of shadows, but the authority of God was louder. And it is that authority, not her schemes, that governs your destiny. You are not standing in this moment because you are untouched. You are standing because you are protected. You are standing because you are watched over. You are standing because the one who called you has already ensured that no plot formed against you can succeed. The battle around you is real, but the protection around you is greater. Now that you understand both the source of the attack and the protection surrounding you, chosen one, you must take your place in this battle not in fear, but in authority. For even though heaven shields you, you are still called to stand, to guard your spirit, and to refuse every doorway through which darkness seeks to enter. Divine protection does not replace your responsibility, it empowers it. And this is the hour where you must strengthen your inner fortress. Your first defense is the grounding of your spirit in prayer and presence. When the enemy attempts to weaken your clarity, your prayers reignite it. When darkness whispers confusion, your communion with God restores truth. You must return daily to the quiet place where your spirit reconnects with the one who empowers you. Strength does not arise from emotion, it arises from alignment. And your alignment with God is what makes every attack lose its influence. Secondly, you must clothe yourself in the spiritual armor that Scripture commands. Ephesians 6:11 declares, "Put on the full armor of God, so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes." This armor is not metaphorical, it is a shield for your mind, your heart, your intentions, and your journey. When you choose truth over fear, faith over doubt, and peace over chaos, you are placing pieces of that armor upon your spirit. And it is this armor that repels the negativity sent toward you. You must also guard your environment, both physical and emotional. Not every voice deserves access to your thoughts. Not every presence deserves entry into your atmosphere. Darkness seeks weak openings, and often those openings come through people who carry envy, restlessness, or spiritual instability. You must learn to discern energy as clearly as you discern words. When someone brings confusion into your peace, distance is not cruelty, it is protection. When someone draws strength from your presence but drains yours, stepping back is obedience, not selfishness. Furthermore, you must guard your inner dialogue. The greatest victories of the enemy often happen not through external attack, but through internal influence. If he can convince you to doubt your worth, you will sabotage what God has already secured. If he can make you question your path, you will hesitate at the threshold of blessing. Protecting your energy means refusing to adopt thoughts that do not come from truth. It means holding your mind to the standard of what God has spoken, not what fear suggests. Finally, cultivate the light within you. Darkness cannot attach to a soul that stays illuminated. Surround yourself with what lifts your spirit: worship, scripture, gratitude, silence, and the presence of God. These practices do not merely comfort you, they strengthen your spiritual frequency, making your spirit impenetrable to the forces that once sought to influence you. Chosen one, protecting your energy is not an act of defense alone, it is an act of identity. It is remembering who you are, whose you are, and what you carry. And when you walk in that awareness, no darkness can cling to you, no scheme can prosper, and no weapon formed against you can take hold. As you begin to guard your spirit and reclaim the authority that has always been yours, chosen one, something remarkable starts to unfold. The very atmosphere around your life begins to shift. What once felt heavy starts to lift. What once felt clouded begins to clear. This is not coincidence. It is the evidence that the season of oppression is breaking and a new chapter, ordained by God, is pushing its way into your reality. Heaven never exposes the attack unless deliverance is already on its way. One of the first signs of this release is the soft return of inner peace. It comes quietly, like a gentle wind moving through your soul. The anxiety that once pressed against your mind loosens its grip. Moments of clarity begin to reappear. Your spirit feels lighter, as though a weight you carried unknowingly has finally fallen away. This peace is not fragile. It is a signal that the spiritual interference sent against you is losing strength. Another sign is the restoration of your motivation. Where you once felt drained, you now feel a stirring. Energy returns to your spirit with newfound purpose. Ideas begin to flow again. Tasks that once felt overwhelming now feel possible. This is the breath of God renewing your strength, fulfilling the promise spoken in Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. This renewal is not emotional, it is spiritual. It marks the moment heaven begins lifting you above what tried to hold you down. You will also notice alignment reappearing in your circumstances. Doors that were stuck suddenly loosen. Situations that made no sense begin to find resolution. Opportunities that seemed lost start resurfacing in unexpected ways. This is the divine order of God re-establishing itself after the disruption of the attack. Where darkness tried to create delay, heaven now creates acceleration. Relationships, too, may begin to clarify. Those meant to walk with you will move closer. Those who were never truly aligned with you will drift away. Misunderstandings dissolve. Peace returns to your interactions. This cleansing is not random, it is God removing the noise so your spirit can breathe again. As light increases, anything not built on truth naturally falls aside. And perhaps the most profound sign is this. You begin to feel a quiet confidence rising within you. Not pride, not arrogance, but a deep knowing that you are stepping into something greater than what you just came through. The shadows that once intimidated you no longer hold the same power. Your discernment sharpens, your awareness heightens. You feel, within the depths of your spirit, that something new is unfolding, something holy, something prepared, something meant for your elevation. Chosen one, these signs are not the end of the journey, they are the dawn of a new season. You are not simply recovering, you are transforming. You are not merely returning to who you were, you are becoming who you were always destined to be. The night is breaking, and the light before you is greater than anything behind you. Chosen one, as this message draws to its close, understand that nothing revealed to you was meant to burden your spirit, it was meant to awaken it. You have walked through shadows that were never meant to overpower you, only to reveal the strength that has been growing within you all along. You are emerging from a season of pressure into a season of clarity, and the battles you faced in secret are becoming the testimonies that will shape your future. Heaven has not only exposed the schemes formed against you, it has already declared victory over them. This entire journey has been a reminder of who you truly are. You were never ordinary, you were never unprotected, you were never walking blindly. Every moment of heaviness, every unexpected resistance, every whisper of confusion was met with a counterforce of divine light guiding your steps. What was meant to silence you has made your voice sharper. What was meant to wear you down has strengthened your discernment. What was meant to detour you has instead aligned you more deeply with your purpose. C.S. Lewis once wrote in Mere Christianity, "Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny." And though you have felt the weight of hardship, you were never ordinary. Chosen one, you were extraordinary from the beginning. The pressure you endured was shaping you for a higher level of calling, not pushing you away from it. So now, as you rise from this season, carry this truth. No weapon formed against you has authority in the presence of God's purpose. No jealousy, no bitterness, no dark intention can override what heaven has ordained. You are stepping into a new chapter, not as someone who barely survived, but as someone who has been fortified by fire and lifted by grace. The shadows that once circled you are losing their grip because the light within you has grown too strong to contain. Walk forward with your head lifted, knowing that the one who protected you is the same, one who will elevate you. The doors ahead are not accidental, they are divine. The restoration coming to you is not partial, it is complete, and the season you are entering is not a repeat of the past. It is the fulfillment of promises long spoken over your life. And if this message has spoken to your spirit, if it has confirmed something deep within you, take a moment to like, share, and leave a comment, so that this word may continue reaching those who need the same awakening you received today.